Today we're gathering around the campfire with Tony, a QHS member whose life is as exciting and grounding as a hike through the mountains. But what trails did he tread to reach these heights? Let's trek into the wilderness and discover the adventures that led Tony to where he is today.
My story begins at the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains in the Great Smoky Mountains, where my father was born on the border between North Carolina and Tennessee. My father was in North Carolina, lived on top of the mountain. My mother lived on the other top of the mountain in Tennessee. Then the United States government decided to make it a national forest, a national park, and took all the land, and they both moved to Alcoa, Tennessee, Aluminum Company of America, which is in Maryville, which is very close to Knoxville, Tennessee. At that time, they had not met each other until then. And then in 1950, that's when I came along. Had a very good childhood. It was a happy childhood. I learned to work real hard. We had a family that was very strong in Christianity, and I attended a lot of church as I was growing up. I started out shy for the first few years of life, like most children. But in my neighborhood, you had to learn to fight pretty quick and to fend for yourself. And my mother taught me not to fight, especially at school. And I wouldn't fight in school because I wasn't supposed to do that. But I learned pretty quick that there was a time to turn the other cheek, and then there's a time to defend yourself. So one day at school, when I was in elementary school, because I wouldn't fight, there was 4 boys decided they were going to jump me and see what happened. They had no idea that I fought all the time at home and in the neighborhood, especially when you have an older brother. Anyway, little bit of blood, and they all went and told the teacher I jumped on them and beat them up. That got me in a little bit of trouble, but the teacher didn't believe it. But that was one of the stories of my childhood that I remember. Then was off to high school. And high school was a blast. Had a great time. Didn't study, but got through anyhow. Dated a lot of girls and was somewhat popular, captain or co-captain of the football team, one of the class officers from my senior year. And then everybody said, well, are you going to college? And I said, sure. I had no idea what I was doing, if I would go or not, but actually did go to college. I went to Lee University in Cleveland, Tennessee. And my first year, I started out playing around like I did in high school, found out that didn't work. And then I remembered the scripture in the Bible that says, if any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not. At that time, I said, Lord, I'm dumb, help me. So I realized that I had to study. So I began to study. And when I began to study, I found out that I liked a few things. Like I liked math, I liked biology, I liked chemistry, all those things that I didn't like in high school. And ended up doing very well in college. In college, I also took time and met the love of my life and got married just before my senior year. And that's when I really settled down even more. I really enjoyed organic chemistry, and one of I call it my claims to fame, was that in the organic chemistry class, the teacher got up and said that no one had ever even passed the organic chemistry final. And it says, but don't worry, whatever average you have going into that, you will still get that. If you have an A, and you'll still get an A. Well, when I went in and took that test, it was no time limit. It took me 4.5 hours. and I was the first one in the history of the school to ever pass the test. Not only pass it, but ace the test. That is so different than what I was in high school. Hard for people to believe. But out of college, graduated, and then I hit the lottery. Of course, it wasn't the lottery with the money. It was the United States decided it was time for me, and they had a lottery, and it was time to be inducted into the military. So I was drafted. My lottery number was 64. Lower the number, the more apt you were to go during the Vietnam era. So I joined the Air Force, and 90 days later, I was what's called a 90-day wonder. I was a second lieutenant in the Air Force. While in the Air Force, I was trained to be a B-52 navigator. After being a B-52 navigator, I cross-trained for administration and recruitment for a little while, and then because of my science background, I went into system acquisition, program management, engineering management, so became a program manager, which was a very intense job. But also because of my background from college, I also minored in religion. So while I was in the military, I also began to pastor a church in that last assignment, next to the last assignment I had in the military. And after the military, I punched out after 11 years, and then always had an entrepreneurial spirit, did some entrepreneurial type things, some businesses. Basically became a regional vice president in and sold insurance and mutual funds. I've got a broker's license, Series 6, Series 63, and Series 7's broker license. And after that, I continued to work in the ministry. I was a itinerant pastor for a period of time, and then eventually founded a church in Northern Virginia, pastored that church for many years, and then turned that over to my son. My son's the pastor now, and then I work with the church and beginning to take care of the administration and many other things. But I say I'm getting ready to, at age 75, go into my third career. And in this third career, one of the things I've been doing for several years now is working to raise funds for nonprofit organizations, specifically the church, to build churches and schools. And that's going pretty well, and things are beginning to happen there. So what happened after that is, the question is, why did I come to quantum healing system? I came to quantum healing system because of the illnesses that I was having and some of my family members. I specifically was diagnosed with, when I left the military, upon leaving the military, that's why I resigned and left the military. I was diagnosed with combat fatigue. Even though I wasn't in combat, that's just another thing for a lot of stress, and the stress did a job on me, weakened my immune system. My brain began to quit working. I couldn't remember things, but things did come back after I did get out of the military. That weakened immune system caused other issues in my body, candida, overgrowth. After that, one of the things that I like to do is a little bit of everything. So I get involved with everything. So I build a house. I never built a house before, so I decided to build a house and became the general contractor, cleared the land. After they bulldozed, I had another 100 or so trees I wanted to clear, so I learned how to grab the chainsaw, drop a tree between the house and the fence and not hit either one of them. But during all that, the ticks loved me, and I got bitten by ticks, got bullseye rashes, and Lyme disease. The weakened immune system couldn't fight that off. After that, I began to have mold toxicity issues. I was exposed to mold and went through quite a bit of different things for many, many years. Still laboring with that right now, still dealing with those kind of issues right now. I came to QFS because of my wife, primarily because she needed quadruple bypass, and one doctor said it was too serious for her, so they choose not to have the operation. We chose not to, and for the last 4 years we've done a lot of praying and alternative things in her life, and also my son is being diagnosed with an incurable disease. We won't go into that. So some of the different things that we have used, holistic medicine and traditional medicine, we've spent a few $100,000 in medical, including all the insurance as well, but has helped some, but it's very hard to find that answer, and has some new additional challenges. Got a small brain tumor, and which is not serious. It's not supposed to be serious. I got to wait until I get another doctor appointment on that one, but it's the type that doesn't grow fast, and it's not supposed to be cancerous. Anyway, QFS is something that we're excited about. We look forward to the QArc and being a part of that at some time in the future. I want to be able to, with the finances that we're bringing together, and to work with quantum healing systems. My wife and I has had a vision to have a medical center along with some other things, but to have a medical center that has the medical capabilities to really make a difference and a change in people's lives. So we are looking forward to the QArc, and we're looking forward to seeing major transformations in our bodies and being strengthened once again, so that we can continue to serve others as we have done all of our lives. So again, we look forward to the QArc, and that's my story.
Join us on the Prequel, where every story matters and every voice is heard. Because here at QHS, we're all about healing, learning, and growing together.